We're live. Live. Maybe you're catching us on the replay. Maybe you're catching this live. But either way, whether you're catching this live or you're catching this on the replay, welcome. Congratulations for being here. That's the first step. Let me get out this other one here. That's the first step to taking charge and changing your marriage for the better forever. So glad you're here. Welcome. If you're catching this on the live, just send me a little comment. Put up a little comment, wave, or say hi, something like that. I'm looking at the comments now, so if I see a comment, I'll wave back and say hi back. If you're here on the replay, just you can put in replay, or just you can say hi. I'll comment later and say hi back. Hi. Hello, hello. Faithfully human. I love that. I did a lot of work on myself to figure out what my problem was. I was like, what is my problem? Why do I keep doing the same things over and over and over again? And that's what I figured out. I'm human. That's what my problem is. So anyway, welcome to everybody who's here. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to talk about what's in the way. What's the biggest barrier to having the marriage that you dream of? So I'm going to ask you first. So I want to know what you think. What do you think is the biggest barrier? Hi, Donna. What do you think is the biggest barrier to creating the marriage that you dream of? I want to know what you think it is. So put in the comments, whether you're here live or in the replay. Either way, put it in. It'd be great to know what your thoughts are. What do you think is the biggest hurdle, biggest block to being able to create the marriage that you dream of? I'll give you a hint if you say it's your partner. I hear that a lot. Well, there's nothing I could do because my partner, communication, that's a big one. That comes up a lot. Communication is big. That's huge. That can be a big hurdle, effective communication. But there's some things about communication, and then this is going to go around. I'm going to give you a hint. The thing that's in the way that I've seen over and over and over again. It's really lame. A big part of it's really lame. Hi, Regina. Welcome. Glad you're here. So it's really the thing that's in the way is really it's lame, man. It's really lame. Like a hippie. It's lame, dude. Dude, it's so lame. Being aware of your own expectations of your mate being too high. Hi, Ryan. Good to see you. That's a big part of it, yeah. Expectations, yeah. Having expectations of what your partner should do. Should. There's that big word. I'll say that's one of the things that's in the way is should. You should all over your partner. But what I'm thinking of today, I love that. That's a great insight. I say that's definitely true. But there's number one thing when people come to me, it's the number one thing. Hi, Laura. Communication. Great. That comes up a lot. But there's one thing that people, when they come to me, there's one thing when I talk to them, I'll say, how willing are you? How ready are you to change your marriage? And a lot of people will say, oh, 5 or 3, 2. And I'll say, okay, well, what do you have to do to get it to a 10? And sometimes they'll say, well, there's nothing I can do because my partner is just not willing. So I'm going to say the number one hurdle to creating the marriage you dream of is it's lame with a B on the front. Be lame. Blame is the biggest thing that keeps us from being able to create the marriage of our dreams. Now, I'm not saying that our significant other, our spouse, your spouse doesn't have a list of things that they should do different. There it is, that they could do differently. And that's all of us, right? But I'm going to say the big B word, blame. Yeah, I know it's lame. I'll admit it. Blame. And blame is an acronym that I created for what I think blame is it's a bad learning after many examples. BLAME. It's a bad learning after many examples of other people blaming us for their feelings, for their experience, our parents, our peers in school, saying, well, you got to do this and you got to do that, and if you don't, that means then, you know, then we're not going to accept you and you won't be safe. So I'm going to say the number one thing I see that people get to a place where they feel like they say, I've tried what? I've tried. Somebody put it in the comments. People, I hear this a lot. Well, I've tried everything. I did everything I could. I don't know. Have you done everything? Everything. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. And this isn't a judgment, it's just an observation. Right, exactly, Regina. I've done everything. Have you done everything? And most of us could probably, if we were honest, we could probably say, no, we haven't done everything. But a lot of times when people come to me, people really, and maybe this is you, really want help in their relationship. They want things to change, but they just don't, we don't see how we can change it because our partner is lazy, our partner is this, that, or the other. And maybe that's not always the case. Maybe sometimes we take too much blame. We blame ourselves for everything, and we can't see. We have so much shame and guilt that we're not able to see what's not ours. You know. And I'm going to say, learning one of the things that I work with people on to help people is figuring out what is yours and what is theirs, and to be able to separate that to get really clear on what is really my responsibility and what is my partner's responsibility, because a lot of times that's unclear, and we can take blame that's not ours, and we can blame our partner for things that's not theirs, and it can be very unclear of where the line is. And that's something that I work with people on to help them get clear on that, because once you know what's yours and what's theirs, then you can, when you know clearly what is yours and what's theirs, then you can start to live and create a relationship and marriage of empowerment. You can start to empower yourself, that no matter what they do, you're empowered to live life in a fulfilling way. Because guess who we can't control? There's somebody in our marriage we can't control. Sometimes it's ourselves, right? I get it. Maybe sometimes it's hard, it's like we've been conditioned to believe a lot of things that are not true. And that's what I work with people on, to help people to see, hey, what is yours, what can you actually do? Because we tell ourselves there's nothing I can do, I've done everything. And we also tell ourselves, well, if my partner would just do all these 10 things, then my life would be all better. Then our marriage would be perfect, right? Then it's just, I'm going to tell you right now, as much as this hurts, I love you, but this is not, it's not true. I said it about my marriage for a long time. And it's not funny, I say that all the time, but we have to laugh to get this energy to be able to overcome these challenges. Life is, life is hard. I'm getting emotional, but life is, relationship, marriage, this stuff is not easy. This stuff isn't easy, and that's why I'm here to help people get through it, and to get through it myself. You're not alone. I'm going through it. We're all going through it. It's just a matter of degree. We're all going through the same thing in our marriage and our relationships and in our life. It's just a matter of degree. So I want to say that it's all about that. I love that, Ryan. That's great. Nothing worth having is easy to obtain. You're right. And to save my marriage, I had to go all in. I had to go all in. Energy wise, financial wise, I had to do a lot of things that were uncomfortable. I had to do a lot of things, but on the other side of that, you know, my wife didn't really want to be with me, and on the other side of that, now she says, yeah, laughter helps create positive energy through. Yes, it does. You're right. That's right. That's why I always say, one smart feller, he felt smart, and two smart fellers, they both felt smart. Try to say that 3 times fast and not laugh. It took me a long time to be able to say that without that fast, without screwing it up. Go ahead and try it. One smart feller, he felt smart. Two smart fellers, they both felt smart. Go ahead and try it. If you do it without laughing or messing it up, I'll give you $1. The check's in the mail. But I forget where I was now. That's okay, because you know what I'm saying here is it's all on us. That's the only way. And have you really done everything? If you've done everything and it's still not working, guess what? It's time to go. If you've done everything and it still don't work, it's time to go. If you haven't done everything and you don't want to have the ton of regret that people have by not doing everything to save their marriage, then you can send me a message. We can talk about what that looks like. But be honest with yourself. Have you done everything? The challenges that you're facing in your marriage, have you really done all you can to take your side of the street, and make sure you know what side of your street is and what side of their street is, because that sometimes is, it's like the bad breath. You know, we got a really bad breath, but we're the only ones who don't know it. You ever have that person that has really bad breath, and they're always like, they want to get real close to you and be like, "Hi, how you doing, Robert?" It's like they don't know, that they have bad breath, but we all have that going on. You know, we only see the tip of the iceberg, and that's what I work with people to help them to start to see some more of the what's underneath, what's going on. And it can be really scary, because it's easy to blame the other person for everything that's going on and just run away, and a lot of us do that, and that's okay. What happens is supposed to happen. But what I'm saying is, this is an opportunity for you, if you know this is something you need support on, to reach out. So I'm going to say blame, bad learning after many examples of other people blaming us for their stuff that wasn't ours. And after a while, we start to take it, especially as kids. But after that, so many years of that, we start to get unclear about what is ours and what is theirs, and what do we got to do, and how can I create a good marriage without somebody else that's on board? And I'm going to say they're saying the same things to themselves a lot of times. They're saying the same thing. Well, there's nothing I could do because they're blaming me for everything. I did that with my wife. I said, and then I'm going to wrap it up, but I said for a long time, my wife wanted to go to counseling, and I said, well, we tried that. We went to like 3 counseling sessions, and this is before my wife left. And, I said, well, I went to counseling. And I hear people say that to me now, and I think of my own self. People will message me and talk about it, and they say, well, I already did counseling. And I said, oh, really? Yeah, I did therapy. I did counseling. I went to 3 sessions, and it didn't work. Well, 3 sessions isn't going to do much. Scratch the surface, This stuff is taking years and years to come up. So it takes a long time for us to start to uncover what's really going on. So anyway, what I'm saying to you is, where are you at with it? What are you ready to do? What are you willing to do? Have you done everything? Is there more you could do? And are you ready? If you're ready to go the next step and you know that, reach out. Love to talk to you about it. Love to, because on the other side of that, it feels good to know that you've done everything you can. And it feels great if the feeling to know that, when you start to get clear on what is really your responsibility and what the other person's responsibility, and know that you're doing everything you can, that's a great feeling. And it doesn't come with all that regret and remorse and all that baggage. It doesn't come with that feeling of anxiety and depression. Because when you really do everything you can, there's a feeling that comes with it of accomplishment and of, I know I'm doing what I can. I know I'm doing everything I can, and there's a peace to that, even when it doesn't work. So I just want to tell you thank you so much for coming. I hope this was helpful for you. I appreciate you. And here's another thing is celebrate that you're doing the first step. If you're here watching this right now and you made it this far, you are taking the first step that's necessary. So celebrate. You're taking the first step that's necessary. This is part of how it works. You're showing up. And if you showed up more than once, celebrate that. Celebrate that. And if you know you're ready for the next step, reach out. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and interacting. And I hope to talk to you again soon. If you need anything, please just send me a message, okay? Talk to you later. See y'all. Remember, one smart feller, he felt smart. Two smart fellers, they both felt smart. Just remember that. If you didn't take anything else away from today's video, take that and use that, because that'll get you really far in life. Oh, shoot. Love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.